Everyone, let's have a Booktube tag. I haven't done a tag in a while. Katie from Books and Things created the Booktube Journey Tag and she was kind enough to tag me, so let's jump into the questions. The first three, let's do them all together. I started making Booktube actually before I started watching Booktube because I didn't know Booktube existed. Back in 2011 in January, I had the New Year's resolution to learn something new, try something different, and start a YouTube channel and talk about books. That's what I did. And then after a few weeks and months, Booktube found me and I have started talking to people and been making videos for 13 years now. Question 4 is about people who played an important role in my Booktube journey. And it's difficult to say. Most of the people that I talked to a lot and that shaped my channel and the Booktube journey in the beginning have stopped making videos. Then over the course of time, there have been a lot of audience members, of course, people I've been talking to in the comments a lot who also come and go because life. I think a lot of people put together shaped my Booktube journey, but I cannot point out single persons who I would say this is who put me in that direction or this person put me in that direction. I'm not really that good in that. But I really know that different times were shaped by different contexts with different people, that you had more conversations or ideas exchanged with some people than with others. Question 5 is about what kind of books I like to read. And if you've been following me around for a while, you know I'm pretty eclectic. I like literary fiction, I like fantasy, I like science fiction, and everything else. I don't really pick out horror, but if I end up picking up a horror book because I tend to not know what I'm picking up, then that's okay too. I'm not really going for thrillers, but that doesn't mean I haven't read thrillers and I don't like thrillers. I'm also not really seeking out romance books, but I end up reading quite a lot of romance books sometimes. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm reading most of the times. I often go into books blind, picking them up because they're recommended. I thought the title sounded nice or the cover looked good. The author is someone I liked, things like that. And then recommendations where I forget why I was recommended a book. So I'm pretty much all over the place. Has Booktube changed the kind of books I read? I think to a degree. I think I've always been pretty much eclectic, but I used to read a lot more literary fiction when I started than I am currently reading. That's also a change in life that's happening, but I think Booktube exposed me to more genres, more authors in that genre that are interesting. Booktube also exposed me to more diverse authors and different types of books that I would not have stumbled upon myself. So I think that is the biggest change that Booktube brought to me, that I have more book recommendations than I could access otherwise. Yeah. Let's answer questions 7 and 8 together as well, because it's all about the types of videos I like to make and how that changed over the time since I started. Like I said, I've been on Booktube for 13 years. I started making videos because I thought one book and one review. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to review every book I read and talk about it in a separate video. Now, mostly I talk about every book I read in a wrap-up, and I really enjoy that format because I don't always have enough to say about one book, or I don't feel like I have enough to say. Once I get started, probably can talk forever, but the amount of single reviews have gone drastically down. I think mostly due to stress and feeling not, eloquent about the books that I want to talk about with the mind frame and mind space that I'm currently in. But that's the biggest change that has happened. I recently, in the last few years, started experimenting with reading vlogs, and I really enjoy that. And I would like to go more into that, but they are time consuming and harder to edit and longer to do. And looking at question 9, if I script or edit, that's definitely something that hasn't changed much. I started off scripting everything, but I abandoned that very, very early on. So everything is just me talking off the cuff. I'm very bad at scripting. I tried going back to scripting, but it didn't work because I really couldn't focus and do it. The only thing I script are my letters to the months. But every bookish video is unscripted. They're all edited. I edit everything. because I have to say the same things multiple times, and sometimes I just forget what I want to say and lose the track and lose my thread of what I want to talk about. Yeah, being distracted and scatterminded. That has me editing a lot. Okay, some data I need to look down. The most watched video on my channel is the 50 books you have to read or must read before you die. That's 62,000 something, 63,000 views. It's very old. Question 11 is about my favorite video that I ever made. I looked up how many videos I made in those 13 years, and it's about 1,300. So I have no clue. I really enjoyed a lot of the videos that I made. I'm recently thinking that a lot of traffic is going through my Inside the House of Leaves video, which is basically just looking in how to read and how the book is put together in the formatting. And I really enjoyed making that. So I think what I miss is that I haven't really been doing experimental videos a lot. And in the past, I used to do that more. So that's something I really enjoyed. Question 12 asks about my favorite book that I've read because of Booktube, and that's definitely Soulless by Gail Carriger. Honestly, I didn't know Gail Carriger existed. I discovered steampunk as a genre in books mostly through Booktube, and I got obsessed for a while. And Gail Carriger, with her Parasol Protectorate series, is really on top of what I read and discovered through Booktube, and which I love. I really enjoy her books, I enjoy her writing style, and I really love the world of Alexia Terabody. I also really enjoyed the video I made reading Soulless and how much I liked it. Going back to videos I liked making, but that was 2012, 2013, so a long time ago. Question 13 is about favorite Booktube experiences, and I think it's when I get to talk to people. So I always like communicating in the comments, even though I'm pretty bad at commenting other people's videos lately. But every time you get to interact with booktubers, and when I actually get to meet people in real life, I always enjoy that. I find it very interesting how much you have in common. If you're like me, you're a little bit socially awkward and worried about meeting people and not knowing what to talk about. And then every time I meet booktubers, after like a minute or two, it's like you're talking to friends you've known forever. And I love that feeling. So that's definitely one of my favorite experiences, talking to people that I know through Booktube. What does my book collection look like? Well, back there, on that side, it's more literary fiction, and on that side, it's fantasy and science fiction. And I also have a lot of serious books outsourced into another room. But I do think about decluttering that collection and downsizing it, because most of my reading, like half of it, is on audiobooks lately, and then there's also a lot of digital books that I'm reading. So not all books are there anymore, and it definitely has changed my attitude to collecting books. Maybe I'll make a video about that one day. Question 15 is my advice to people who want to start Booktube. My advice is just start. Do what you want to do what you like to do, talk about the books you like to do, ignore the numbers, don't expect to be famous in a day. There are people who make one video and hundreds of people watch them. Then there are people who made hundreds of videos who have an average of like 10, 20, 30 views for every video. I average about 100 views per video, maybe 200 if I'm lucky nowadays. That's fine. Booktube should be something you do for yourself and for fun. If you want to make a career in it, then go for it. But it's hard. It's not easy. There's tons of other booktubers and tons of people who make videos about books. And I don't really know how to stand out anymore. So just go for it. Do what you want. Experiment. Don't worry too much. Have fun with it. And that's it. Question 16 is about tagging people. I don't really want to tag anyone specific. If you really need an excuse to make this video, just go ahead. Tag me in it and I'll come watch it. And what I like to offer to everyone who's just commenting, so just watching but not making videos, just answer the questions in the comments if you feel like it. Not all of them probably, but maybe just one or two, and let us know how Booktube changed your life. Thank you all for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.